As the founder of the Innovation Culture Institute, I'm going to take a slightly different take on why Israel is so important. I will show you how everything is connected, and also why there is so much innovation coming out of Israel. And I'm going to do all of this in less than 5 minutes. First of all, Israel used to look like this. You can see that we had part of the East Bank, the entire West Bank, and only part of the Negev Desert. Too bad they didn't have Eilat at the time. But when it comes to holy places, nothing was as holy as the first temple, which was built by, can you guess? King Solomon. It's all connected. King Solomon was considered to be the smartest person who ever lived. I wish I had some of his intelligence. He was also known as the richest man who ever lived. I wish I had some of his wealth. And of course, it was said that he had 1,000 wives. I'm good here. And then war started. First, it was a civil war. Israel split into two kingdoms, Israel and Judea. And lo and behold, between 849 and 841 BCE, they both had kings with the same name, Yoram. You see, it's all connected. The first temple was destroyed by Nebuchadnezzar in 586 BC. And in 20 BC, Herod the Great, king of Judea, decided to do some renovation and built the second temple. Unfortunately, the Romans destroyed the second temple at 70 AD. Over the years, Jerusalem became holy to more than one religion. In fact, Jerusalem has 4 quarters: Jewish, Muslim, Christian, and Armenian. The only part that remains of the second temple was part of the Western Wall, which is in the Jewish part of the city, at least one side of it. Jews, and not only Jews, from all over the world go to that Western Wall, also known as the Wailing Wall or the Kotel, to get as close to God as possible. It is a tradition to make a wish, write it on a piece of paper, and stick it between those big stones. It is believed that God will read those notes and grant your wishes. Be careful what you wish for. On June 7, 1967, my father's birthday, after fierce fighting during the Six-Day War, the Western Wall was liberated by the Israeli Defense Forces. It was taken by the 35th Airborne Brigade, considered Israel's elite infantry brigade. These are the most famous pictures of that liberation. On the top right, you can see the first soldiers to arrive at the wall. On the bottom left, you can see the generals, including Yitzhak Rabin and Moshe Dayan. You know who else served at 35th Airborne? Me! I told you, it's all connected. I spent my 10 years of reserve service at the 35th Airborne Brigade, which brings me to the second part. Why is there so much innovation coming out of Israel? After the US, Israel has the largest number of companies listed in NASDAQ. It has the third highest number of patents per capita, and it gets more than double the amount of VC money invested per capita than the second country, the US. The second most innovative city in the world is Tel Aviv. The first one is Silicon Valley. But why? If you look at the map of the US, you will see that we are surrounded by oceans or friendly nations. But when you look at the map of Israel, that little yellow speck, you will see the most countries around it do not recognize its existence. As a result, Israel has undergone several wars with its neighbors who invaded it. The biggest driver for innovation is necessity. For example, being attacked by rockets and missiles recently caused Israel to develop the missile intercept defense system called Iron Dome, which saved many lives. Military service is mandatory in Israel, but not all military service is combat service. In fact, this is the technology unit where I spent my first 5 years of active duty. The technologies developed in some of those technology units in the IDF can be used not only in military applications. Veterans from those units typically start startup companies that delivered some of the best technologies in the world, from internet firewalls to sudden infant death syndrome prevention, to pill camps that made colonoscopies easier, to even leg hair removal. The largest American companies quickly realized the potential of those companies and began acquiring them, with one of the largest only 2 years ago being Intel's acquisition of the self-driving car technology company Mobileye for over $15 billion. Some of the largest companies in the world have set up shop in Israel, and some of the best products were made there. And I'm done in less than 5 minutes.